Hey, it's Scotty. I'm with Dice, and we are just having a little critical care, some SAR-X emergency electrolyte medicine. He's already had a couple syringefuls already. I don't need to use this modified syringe here for the electrolytes, but it's just easier than switching syringes. I wanted to talk about caring for sick piggies and why some people, nobody wants to be sick and nobody wants to have their pets be sick. But I want to talk about it on a, I guess, more philosophical level. Half of the audience cuts off the video and moves on to something happier. But this is a joyous video, a video topic, because here, have some. When we talk about our piggies being sick, like I said, nobody wants that, but it's an inevitable part of life. And come here. He's already had a couple of these and may not want to have too much more and may end up making a mess. Sometimes, even with guinea pigs, but often with small animals, people will say, just let them die and get a new one. Or people are very upset when their guinea pigs are sick, not because they worry about their piggies, but because, or their pets, but because it's an inconvenience for them. It is pretty time consuming to care for a sick animal, and my heart goes out to and my sympathies are with anybody who has to do that, especially for a long term and on a regular basis. But I want to sort of put it in perspective and ask some questions and just kind of try to break down where does that come from, and ask some response questions. So if you're thinking, it's really an inconvenience to care for a sick pet right now, well, for the past year, Dice has had a tooth root abscess infection that caused really bad digestive issues. And he eventually lost his tooth. And then he has had this dizzy spell. Pardon me. I'm just waking up, so my voice is a little I'm a little congested. It's been kind of dry out here. But needless to say, it's been a difficult year for Dice, and it's been a lot of work for me. But for someone to say that it's a big inconvenience, I wish that Dice was not sick. I wish that he was always feeling good. I wish that I could put my energy towards other things. You know, give my piggies baths, do some play dates. There are many things that I could do with the minutes and hours that I spend giving medicine to piggies that are sick. But he is sick. And so when someone says that it's an inconvenience, I would just wonder, what would they rather be doing? What other thing in their life is so important? Now, I know we all have family, we have friends, we have things that are important, we have goals, we have responsibilities that are not in any way even related to our pets. I get that. I understand that. Believe me. But one of the great honors and privileges in life is to care for those, to care about others, and to care for those that need our help. And I've said before many times that the silver lining in having a sick pet is that you spend time with them in a different capacity and so much more of a tenderness and patient time. You know, this boy, and this is the nature of guinea pigs, and you probably have experienced this, that they're so sweet when they're sick. And when they get better, when they start to feel better, they become little jerks sometimes. Dice is so sweet and helpless when he's sick. And the second he starts feeling better, and even when he's not, he's rumbling, he's chasing Grape. And I can tell he can barely keep his head up, and I can tell that he understands that I'm trying to help him. I can also tell that he's frustrated with this, and no one likes to be sick. And sometimes when you're sick, recovering takes a really long time. And you have to be patient, you have to not try to rush things, and you have to be, you have to forgive yourself. And don't think, oh, if only I can just get better sooner, I can get back to doing what I need to do. I really believe that one of the most important things that we can do in life is to foster this caring. And when we are sick, when people we love are sick, being able to foster that compassion, to be there, that's really important work for our personal development, for our spirit. Developing that kind of patience, understanding, and empathy is a skill that you can carry with forever. It is also a quality that I believe rubs off on others by example. And it is one of the most important things that we can do is spend time learning how to care, giving that caring, being patient and understanding. So, this is some of the stuff I've been thinking about, struggling with during these illnesses. So, I want him to feel better. I don't want to be here syringe feeding critical care to my piggies. You know, I want to be drawing. I want to be making videos. I can hold them and spend time with them without it being a medical emergency. You want any more? Come on. There you go. But this is the job ahead of me. And there are lessons that can be learned. There are gifts that can be given. And if you stop thinking about how inconvenient it is, how disappointing it is, how unnerving and upsetting it is and stressful to take care of a sick piggy, you will actually find that there are some of the sweetest, most tenderest, the sweetest, most tender moments in your entire relationship with them that's had during these sick times. And it makes me think about also how one of the most devastating things is to help your piggies pass, either at the vet because it's time and they're in pain, or unexpectedly at home, or if you have a piggy that is just in old age. You know, I've had pigs that are so old that every day I would wake up, I would wonder, I'd go in, and not to see how they were, but just to see if they were still alive. And when you have pigs that get really old and slow down, it is to be expected. It's our responsibility is to be there for them for their entire lives, and death is part of life. Sickness is part of life. And that's a whole other philosophical discussion. And why do these guys have such short little lives compared to us? Why are we forced to repeatedly deal with suffering and loss? You know, that is something either to argue with your friends in a philosophical context, or to argue with the deity of your choice in the quiet hours. And I don't have those answers. But it does seem that those are opportunities to selflessly care, be compassionate, And those are times when the greatest growth and insight and character development can come. So I hope this isn't a bummer. I hope this is a inspiring video. Life is full of ups and downs. It's full of all different emotions. We can't run away from the sad times. Well, we can, but it's to our detriment. And if you actually look at what we would consider to be a sad time, it's actually filled with some of the greatest connection, the greatest joy. So don't let that slip by without taking that time to give the love and compassion and to learn and grow and carry that new insight and love with you and share it with others. So I hope this wasn't a boring, rambling video. I hope it didn't feel like lecturing. Ooh, I can feel gurgles in his tummy. That's good. You want piggies to be digesting. It's when you don't feel activity. That's when it can be dangerous. You falling asleep? Dice. You falling asleep? I have a couple videos about grief and loss and love. I will put both of those right here, and I hope that maybe it helps you or it helps somebody that you know. We all go through it. But what can we learn from it? And how will it make us better? All right, guys. Until next time, thanks for watching.